Hey, welcome to a new series that we are beginning today. We're calling this Educating Farrah and Ruby, the Palomino being Farrah, the little dun being Ruby. And we bought these two fillies last summer when they were about a month old, and spent about 30 minutes with each one of them at that time. And since that time, they have not been touched until this morning. So now they're about 8 or 9 months old, and we're going to start working with them over the next 3 or 4 years. This might be a very long series. And I'm going to go ahead and start catching one of them while I'm talking. See which one of them I want to pick up first. I think I'll do the Palomino because I expect her to be a little easier. So we went looking for a filly last summer. And I looked and I looked and I looked. And what I wanted was a performance bred filly that I can train to do extreme cowboy racing. That is her ultimate destiny. And we ended up here in Oklahoma at the Bryant Ranch and I narrowed it down to these two fillies. That's really nice. She's looking at me there. And so my wife and I had an agreement that I wouldn't buy one unless she agreed on it. So when I narrowed it down to these two, I took her with me to try to decide which one we were going to buy, and we could not agree which one we were going to buy, so we ended up buying them both. What can I tell you? With my idea, I don't know what my wife's idea is, with my idea being that I'm going to train both of them over the next 3 or 4 years, and whichever one I like I will keep, and then the other one that's not necessarily like, but whichever one will be the best cowboy racing horse I would keep, and then we'd sell the other one. And we'll see. These are both performance bred. The little Palomino is two-eyed Jack Zanpar bar and a couple other things that I've forgotten. The little red dun is Pepto Boonsmall and New Checks to Cash. So they're pretty well bred and I think pretty athletic little fillies. And so they have not been handled until now. We got them in the trailer this morning and got the halter and drag rope on them. And we're going to see what we can do here. So today, on first day of messing with them, all I'd like to do is just get them given to the pressure a little bit, and I really like that. As I said, they've not been handled other than just being around people. Another reason I like these fillies, and I like what Jimmy and Kim Bryant do, is these fillies were born outside in a herd of broodmares and babies, and they have lived outside their whole life in probably a 40-acre pasture with barbed wire fences. And so that means they understand herd dynamics. They know what horse language is. They are used to birds flying by and dogs barking, and they know what barbed wire is. I like that a lot. I really don't like horses being pinned up in stalls where they can't get used to things, and I really like this. She's just going to let me just see what we can do. And this one, her sire is a buckskin roping stud named Watch Jack Win It. There you go, Farrah. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Beautiful. Looky there. And Watch Jack Win It is a really just gentle stallion. He's one of those studs that just doesn't give you any trouble. And so we would expect her to be pretty easy going. There, so she stepped over the rope. That's what I wanted her to do. So let's start her off with her first lesson on giving to pressure. And I don't typically use these web halters, but today, since I'm going to have them drag this rope for a little while, I decided to use a web halter. And once we get to where we can catch them, then I'll take them off and we'll start using a rope halter when I catch the fillies, I'm sorry. Let's just see. I'm going to just giving her about 2 pounds of pressure there and see if I can get her to give to it. She's going to fuss a little bit and then give to it right there. Good girl. Okay, so we want to do this and with as little of upsetting her as little as possible, but teach her to give to that pressure. There we go. And I didn't pull very hard. Maybe 3-4 pounds of pressure is all I gave her there. You always want to do this from the side, by the way. You don't want to pull straight in front of them because it won't work. They'll just sit back and pull away from you. So I want to try to do this without getting them upset. If I can do it without upsetting her. Oh, there, as soon as I knelt down, she said, oh, well, maybe not so bad. Try to not upset her if I can help it, but I don't know. Okay, there we go. So I got it out from between her legs. Now I can do something with this rope. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over her here. And you know what? This isn't a bad thing, just to let her feel that rope around her. Kind of up under her tail a little bit. That's not a big deal. Okay. Now I've got the rope where I can do something here. Let's let them calm down a minute. Okay. So you don't want to... Okay, Farrah. All right. So that's a good opportunity there. I'll just let her feel that rope around her butt. So she's going to freak out just a little bit. Now it's around her whole body. That's just something good for her to get used to. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I've really not pulled on her much yet. All right. Now, so she's licking her lips. Let's let her rest a minute. Okay, first pressure. Here we go. And I can already tell she's a bit more resistant than the Palomino. Just the amount of pressure she's doing pulling on me, and she might just be physically stronger also. Some of that's a little hard to tell in the beginning. All right, there, nope. There, she gave me her face. Okay, so let's let the pressure off. Okay. There, she's giving me her face. Okay. It's all about the release here. When you release it, she will learn to give to that pressure. And with these little web halters, there's not going to be much pressure, and there's certainly no pain involved in anything I'm doing here. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. So that's about 5 pounds of pressure there. And she might fuss just a little bit. Okay, if she settles in, then I'll try to get her to move here. There, good. There we go. So I'm just trying some different techniques here just to see if any of them will work better than the other. There, she's letting me get my hand closer to her. So if you can't touch the horse, get as close as you can. And then each time, there, that's the first time she sniffed me. There we go. So I'll back the pressure off and let her think about that. She says, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, sniff me again. She says, yeah. You smell funny. Oh, and then you touch my nose. And this is called approach and retreat. If you're not familiar with basic desensitizing techniques, the reason we use it is because horses are prey animals and we humans are predators, and they know that. But a predator, like a mountain lion, never backs up. It approaches, but it never retreats. And somewhere in her instinct, she knows that when I back away, that's not the way a predator would act. So by approach and retreat, it just helps them to accept what you're doing on a kind of instinctual level. There. But I love it that she's a little worried, but she's not panicking or trying to fight or even make a big fuss about this. So I think I'll just try to touch her one more time and then call that a day with her.